There are things unfolding beneath the surface, hidden clues lost in the noise of everyday life. But today, I'll show you what most people never notice. Are you ready? Because after this, nothing will ever look the same again. If you're intrigued by mysteries, prophecy, and the secrets of our world, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Let's uncover the truth together. Nostradamus once wrote of wars drained by exhaustion, referencing cryptic phrases such as Gallic brass and the crescent sign of the moon. Scholars and mystics alike have long interpreted these symbols as representations of France, Gallic brass, and Turkey, the crescent moon. While these verses have remained open to interpretation for centuries, their eerie relevance in 2025 can no longer be ignored. The year has seen not only the grinding economic burden of the prolonged Russia-Ukraine war, but also the sudden ignition of a new and dangerous front, the Iran-Israel conflict. On June 23, 2025, in a move that shocked the world, former U.S. President Donald Trump appeared at a hastily organized press conference in Geneva to announce a temporary but complete and total ceasefire between Israel and Iran. The truce, he declared, would begin immediately and last for 12 hours, marking what many media outlets would soon call the end of the 12-day war. This brief but catastrophic conflict had escalated at a pace unseen in the region for years. The hostilities began with a coordinated strike by Israeli and American forces, targeting Iran's most critical nuclear infrastructure. Massive bunker-busting bombs were deployed on hardened targets at Natanz, Fordo, and Isfahan, facilities long suspected of housing Iran's most advanced nuclear operations. Iran's response was swift and unrelenting, launching salvos of precision missiles toward strategic Israeli sites, including the port city of Ashdod and Udeid Air Base in Qatar, where U.S. forces maintain a regional presence. The lightning pace and sheer intensity of the war rapidly strained both nations' military and economic capabilities. Energy reserves dwindled, global oil prices surged. Civil unrest simmered in cities already weakened by inflation and political fatigue. With both sides approaching the brink of unsustainable escalation, a rare and fragile diplomatic window began to open, one shaped not by goodwill, but by necessity. It is within this gap that the old powers have resurfaced. France and Turkey, whose modern military and political footprints extend from Syria to Libya, stepped forward to mediate, invoking their deep regional ties and complex histories with both Iran and Israel. Though their agendas remain partly obscured, many now see these two nations as the only viable architects of a longer-term peace framework. Whether they can succeed or whether the ceasefire will unravel into further chaos remains uncertain. And yet, the parallels to Nostradamus's cryptic vision are striking. A world exhausted by war, alliances forming from unlikely corners, and ancient empires taking on new roles as brokers of fate. Are we merely watching the rhythms of history, or is something more prophetic at play? Among the more chilling predictions left to us by Nostradamus is the vision of cruel wars taking root in England, followed closely by the rise of an ancient plague, a polio, force so devastating it would surpass even the might of traditional weaponry. For centuries, scholars debated the meaning behind these ominous lines, unsure whether they referred to political conflict, social upheaval, or something more literal and terrifying. Now in the year 2025, these haunting words find disturbing parallels in the real-world events unfolding across the United Kingdom. Post-Brexit Britain has become a nation in flux, drifting from one crisis to another. Inflation has taken a brutal toll on everyday citizens. Grocery prices skyrocket week after week, energy bills remain staggeringly high, and families struggle to maintain even a modest quality of life. Trains and buses grind to a halt amid nationwide strikes. Teachers, nurses, and public sector workers take to the streets demanding fair pay and dignified working conditions. From Glasgow to Brighton, once quiet city squares now echo with chants and clashes, as public frustration boils over into organized resistance. Yet for all the economic and political chaos, an even more ominous threat looms quietly behind the scenes. In recent months, Britain's health agencies, working discreetly and largely out of public view, have begun tracking the emergence of a new influenza variant. This isn't your typical seasonal flu. This strain, scientists fear, has mutated beyond recognition. Preliminary findings indicate that it may possess a combination of high transmissibility, viral persistence, and resistance to common antivirals. In short, it has the potential to spark a global health crisis more severe than the COVID-19 pandemic. Hospitals in major cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham are already straining under the weight of early cases. Emergency rooms are overwhelmed. Long queues of ambulances idle outside in the cold night air. Inside, medical staff, already stretched thin by years of post-COVID burnout, face an exhausting new wave of infections. Wards overflow, ventilators are limited, and staffing shortages reach critical levels. Some hospital trusts have quietly begun training volunteers to assist in basic care, fearing that the worst is yet to come. Meanwhile, trust in the government has eroded to near-record lows. Politicians trade blame on social media while failing to deliver clear action plans. The public watches with growing anxiety as official statements conflict with whistleblower reports, and as secret health briefings leak to the press. The result is a population caught between fatigue and fear, drifting through an invisible storm. The eerie symmetry between Nostradamus' prophecy and these unfolding events is hard to ignore. A nation under siege economically, socially, and biologically. A strange illness from the past returning in modern form. And a fractured leadership unable to unify its people under a common plan. Whether through coincidence or uncanny foresight, Britain now stands on the precipice of both civil unrest and biological peril. Inspired by Quatrain 228, the riches shall become so thin, they will be swept away like dust in the wind. As Nostradamus once warned, wealth would one day lose its weight, vanishing like dust, scattered by unseen winds. In 2025, that vision flirts with reality. In recent months, the world economy has entered a period of severe turbulence. Global debt has surpassed $320 trillion, reaching a record 336% of global GDP, a figure that even the IMF and World Bank now describe as structurally unsustainable. Financial confidence, once a pillar of global trade, is cracking beneath the pressure of geopolitical conflict, inflation, and rapid technological change. The Iran-Israel conflict, while brief, triggered a sudden oil shock. With tankers delayed in the Strait of Hormuz and production sites targeted by drone attacks, oil prices spiked to over $110 a barrel. This surge, combined with climate-related crop failures and high interest rates, has amplified food prices and energy costs worldwide. In the United States, Wall Street wobbled as the Nasdaq corrected 15% amid layoffs in major tech firms, reeling from an over-reliance on AI-generated output. In Germany, consumer goods inflation rose above 7%, again resurrecting fears of the 2022 to 2023 energy crisis. And in Argentina, inflation officially climbed past 130% annually, with citizens queuing at banks, only to find limits on daily withdrawals. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's price has hovered near $78,000, not because of mass adoption, but because of institutional scarcity. Less than 0.5% of global users own a full coin, while millions watch from the sidelines as fiat currencies erode. In 2025, money no longer feels like safety, it feels like volatility. Wealth is fleeting. Faith in paper is dissolving. As Nostradamus foresaw, the empire of commerce built on printed promises begins to tremble. If you found this exploration of prophecy and reality intriguing, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more deep dives into mysteries shaping our world. Your support helps us uncover the unseen and keep the conversation alive. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, sometimes the past holds the key to our future.